What is the ideal distance for a Spooky2 Scalar? There is a minimum distance that we recommend, and that's 6 feet. We recommend 6 feet because you don't want to get near any stray EMF fields from either unit. If it's 6 feet, it gives room for you to be between the two and be within the scalar field. At 6 feet, the scalar field will be something like 2 feet in diameter, which isn't that much. If you move the units further away, the scalar field is larger, wider, covers more space, and it doesn't become reduced in strength. So it's a win-win situation. If you do a biofeedback scan, do have those two units close together. If you have them further apart, because more things are within the scalar field, all those things will be adding information and sending information back to the generator X, and they'll be all affecting the feedback signal. So you'll be getting the feedback signal from the electrical noise or the radio, TV signals in the air. You'll be getting the noise of the dust that's everywhere, noise of everything, even noise from inanimate objects will be put into the scalar field. So when you do a biofeedback, have the units something like 6 feet apart. Make sure you're the only person that's in the field. Have everything else far away from the two boxes, even on the other side of the two boxes where there's no scalar field. You want as pure a signal as possible. Now, there's no known maximum distance between the two units. Theoretically, if there's no metal, no electrical noise anywhere, and no living life nearby, no carbon molecules, you can have the units thousands of kilometers apart. But as soon as a little mosquito flies between the two, it will take the scalar field and prevent it from being received by the receiver unit, back to the transmitter unit. It'll rob the scalar field and the field may be lost. The more items that are within the field, the less strength the field will be at the receiver. Also, a very long link cable will lose some energy because it's carrying the electromagnetic field. It's carrying in a current. Joy, I saw a chat come up, but I didn't see anything come up on my phone in our QQ channel. If you can please relay the chat messages to me. If I don't reply to any chat messages, I'll see them once I've completed this presentation. It's if Joy doesn't relay them to me. Joy, if you can just give any message to let me know that you're listening, please. Okay, the scalar field is not blocked by walls or solid objects, so you can have the scalar field going through your house, through the walls, through the floors. The thing to really watch out for is the link cable. Joy, Joy's saying that there's no questions come through. Okay, well, we'll thunder through, and if anyone's got any questions online, please send them to the chat of Zoom so that Joy can relay them to me. I can't see any Q&A. Always keep the two lids facing each other, because the lids are where the scalar field is created. Is it safe to share the scalar field? Well, if you're sharing it with friends and family, you'll already mingle with them. You share the photons that are passing onto them and through them, bouncing from them. So you're already quantum entangled with them. So yes, you can safely share the scalar field. But we don't recommend sharing the scalar field with strangers or people with serious diseases. If you don't want the scalar field to affect others, keep the two scalar units at a minimum distance. Sometimes it's impossible to avoid sharing the field, but it's not necessarily a problem because you already share fields with them. Experiments have been taken place, not by us, by scientists that know much more than us, who have found proof that photons, which is light, carry information as well, transfer information from one DNA source to another. An experiment which was explained to me in a very early summer by a scientist proved that photons of light transferred a DNA information from one tank of fish to another tank. The tanks were separated and perfectly hermetically sealed from each other. So you're already intertwined with people whether you like it or not. That person who you bought the groceries from this morning, you have got information from that person. Okay. Let's see if a message has come through. Okay, now, and that was actually another person, Dr. Fritz Albert Popp, established that biophotons are all that is required to transfer the information. And scalar is just one other way of transferring information from one point to another. Photons, of course, is just light. So sharing sunlight with other people or animals will have a similar result as sharing a scalar field. It's quite scary in a way, isn't it? You know, I suppose you've got to be choosy with the people that you share your light with. But imagine if you're in a crowd, you know, a tight crowd where you haven't got arm flapping space. You're sharing information with strangers. Okay, so scalar fields is not something that makes the start. This information is already happening. Now, if you start to feel you're experiencing shared symptomatic responses with others who share the field with you, all you have to do is stop sharing the scalar field and the symptoms should diminish.